Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make your own bullet journal. This craft is actually surprisingly quick to do, fairly easy, and you don't need any special supplies. All of these things are things that you probably have at home. The first step is to go to the website gridsly.com, which is a customizable grid paper website. So then you're going to pick the dot grid paper, and then you can adjust the spacing of the dots and the darkness of the dots to your liking. Next, you're obviously going to print your paper. You can print as many or as few as you want. It's just going to obviously depend on how big you want your journal to be. Just a little life hack: if you want double-sided dot grid paper but you don't have a double-sided printer, or if you're like me, you couldn't figure out how to do the double-sided printing option, then you can just print out one side and then put the paper back into your printer and print the other side. Once you print out your paper, you're going to notice that there is the date and the website on the top and bottom parts of the paper. So if you're like me and you don't want that there, you can go ahead and cut that off. I did it with my paper cutter because I wanted really straight lines and I'm just not good at cutting, so I figured this would be a better option. I did this with 3 pieces of paper at a time and it went by pretty quickly. Once I finished cutting out all of my paper, I had to do some measurements. So I started by measuring the length of the paper, and I figured out what the center of it was. So then I drew a dot on each end of the paper, and then I drew a line connecting the two dots so that I would have a straight right angle line down the paper. And then I found the center of that line and then measured the distance between that point and the edge of the paper and evenly spaced out 2 more dots. I don't know if that made any sense, but you should end up with 5 evenly spaced dots going down your paper. Then you're going to use a thumbtack to just press through the paper. I'm not very strong and I'm not good at pressing and pulling things, and I was able to do this, so I really think anyone can. I did the same thing that I did to the stack of paper to a piece of cardstock that I was going to use as the cover of my book. Then I sewed together my pages and my cover. However, I didn't film it because I didn't really know what I was doing, and filming something while you're doing it always seems to make it harder, and I just didn't really feel like I was qualified to show you guys how to do it. So instead, I will link the tutorial that I watched down below so that you can learn how to sew your own book together. Next, I just folded the pages together and I folded the cover in the opposite direction and then back again so that it went around the pages to make my book. Since I had so many pages, my book wasn't really staying closed, so to press it down I put it under a stack of other books. But I was kind of impatient and I didn't really know if that was going to work, so I decided to take matters into my own hands and make an elastic band. So I just loosely measured some elastic around the book, and then using a hot glue gun, I glued one end of the elastic into the inside back cover of the book and then glued the other end in as well, and I did this tightly so that way it would stretch around the front of the book, and then I just cut off the extra elastic. This is the final product. I'm super happy with how it turned out, and I hope that if you decide to make this, it goes well and that it turns out nice as well. Thank you so much for watching and have an awesome day.